Hi my friend and welcome. I'm so happy to see you here. This video is going to be somewhat of a special video. This is going to be the first time that I'm not just taking you on the process of building and showing you around in my village. I'm actually going to give you some tips and tricks on how to play the game. And now these tips and tricks won't be the same tips and tricks that you will find in any other video here on YouTube. These will be the things, the 23 things and some small tips and things, other things like small notions, etc. But these will be the 23 things that I have written down on my paper here that in my experience are some important things that you might not know about LEGO Fortnite. If you are googling how to get better at LEGO Fortnite, or if you are, oh, they changed this, if you are really like wanting to be better at this game, these tips will not be in here for you. And I just tested something that is actually changed, so one of these tips has to be edited, and that's why I just needed to wait until the update to get this started. Now let's get on with the first tip in my long list of all the tips. The first thing that you should be doing when getting your LEGO world ready is that you should be aiming to get in the shield tab here, getting these charms. You can start up with the, I don't even have the green, I think it's the green one here, the gray one. Start with the gray health charm just as early as possible. Use the silk thread and the bone and the wolf claw. It's quite easy to get hold of. This first charm will grant you one extra heart and some shield. This shield, as you can see at the top right corner here, I have 38 of them in total. The shield value is what reduces the damage you take from mobs. And right now I have so much shield that just the ordinary brutes are not even hurting me. The minimum damage you can take in this game is a quarter of a heart, and that's what I take when I get hurt by shield. But you can see, in my opinion, it's quite early on. You can also go for this health charm. Now, there is different charms you can get in the game, and these are what is considered some of the end game charms. The purple regeneration charm is by far the best charm in the game, but you also need inner fire and cool-headed charm. The regeneration charm does exactly what it says. It regenerates your health over time. The inner fire charm keeps you warm in the snow, and the cool-headed charm keeps you cool in the desert. You need only one of these cool-headed in the blue area to get your be cool. But if you want to go down into caves, you cannot get a purple cool-headed, but it starts with a blue inner fire charm and the green inner cool-headed charm. I like this as an early charm as well in the game, maybe even more than the health charm, because it's almost as easy to get the hold of, and then just stack up these cool-headed instead, because they will give you 3 hearts and 5 shield, whereas this will only give you 2 hearts and 3 shield, and this is almost as easy to get. In the beginning I always recommend like going as fast as possible for 3 of those, because then you can go into the caves in the desert realm quite fast. But as I said, one of these, this is my just standard inventory. I have an extra inner fire for when I want to go to the snow, but I will never go for more than one cool-headed charm, even though I'm going into the desert area. The next thing is farming animal products. I don't know what the exact term for this is, but let's say you want to have more, drop more from these animals, and I'm not talking about fertilizer, I'm talking about like the thing, this to drop wool, and the chickens drop eggs. If you feed them vines and food, they drop more at the time, and if you feed them big stacks of vines, they will drop even more. This is not the tip though. The The tip is, instead of feeding them stacks of vine, which you need to go out and farm, you can instead make a wheat farm like this one. And then you can collect the wheat, because this one wheat here, if you go over to the grinder here and you put this into the wheat grain here, one wheat will give you 3 grain. And this means that collecting one of these like this will actually already give you 3. So getting to 50 stacks and dropping them to get, let's say you want a lot of wool, then dropping these 50 stacks in front of the sheep will give you this much easier. So I think that making a wheat farm, and even a mega wheat farm early on in the game, first you need to collect the wheat and replant all the wheat grain, and collect the wheat, replant, collect the wheat, replant, and at some point you can just have 2 or 3 of these grinders, and then you can make mega stacks to get some of all of these. I feel like after this update they drop more poop. I have never seen so much poop before. But yes, this is much easier way to get this. I can feed this here, put this down on the ground, and then the chicken here will see it. It will probably not give me more than 1 egg because it's only 3 grain. But let's imagine you have stacks of 50. It didn't even give me 1. Okay, so let's imagine you have much more, then it will give much more. That's what I have been experiencing. Maybe they changed this in the update, maybe not. The updates are happening all the time, so these tips can be outdated the minute that you see them. But these are tips based on my experience. And if you are new to the channel, and if you like LEGO Fortnite, then really consider subscribing to the channel, because this channel is only dedicated to this game, LEGO Fortnite, and I'm playing it on the channel, and I'm giving you all the best things that I can give. I'm showing you builds, and I'm showing you my tips. Let's go on to tip number 3. Tip number 3 is that you should put your villagers to work. Now you probably already know this, but I have some tips and some ideas on what I think you should be putting them to work with. Miaskos here is working at this the loom. He is doing that because I want silk thread and I want these cord. As you saw before, I got 10 of them. As you saw before, I needed those for the charms in the early game, and now I can actually use his resources to get charms, or I can use this in the later game to get these silk fabrics. Silk fabrics is needed for the jump pad. And then I think you should also have someone to do copper, because she just gave me 30 copper, and I think around 1 day real time, maybe half a day real time, and those who work at the metal smelter will give you 30 copper. And then you should have he is cooking food for me, and she is working at the stone what's called stone breaker over here. Now this is just one of my bases. The reason why she's working at the stone breaker is that I want to get these granite slabs. You don't need this because granite is quite easy to get a hold of in the early games, but as later on you might see that I have deplenished, like cut all of the granites away right here. There are some down here, but I have almost chopped down all of the granites in my entire area. That's why I have one going in for granites for me. But this is not the entirety of all the things you should be doing with your workers. Over here in my grappler factory, I have them also going around and giving me like, I think it's called collect nearby resources or something, because that thing, I think Bright Bomb is the one who's doing that. Yeah, sometimes you get some good, it's random what you get, but sometimes you get like bomb powder, blast powder, and vines, etc., so you can get on with your grapplers. As you can see here, just mostly from my workers, I have all of these. Oh, seriously? Okay. Why is the... Okay, I need to... Did they make some changes out? I need to see if they did this in the last update. 29. Going over here, going to back. 29 still, okay. Yeah, after the, like, not this update, but the previous update, they made it so that you couldn't, like, recharge those, so I have a factory over here making grapplers for me. But updates happen all the time in the game, as I said, and this might also be a subject to change later on. So number 3 was put the villagers to work at the best jobs, and I think like getting the local resources as she's doing, and one at the copper bar thing here, and one to cook and one to make fabrics at least is some of the better things to do. And then I have also one at the stone breaker. And then there is one thing I wish that I knew before I started. So this is actually my second world in LEGO Fortnite. Look up seeds online before you start your world. Now seeds is something that's randomized if you just pick a random world, but seeds is what's determining your area. Now see, I have a desert right here, and I have the snow biome right here, and this is by design, or it's not by design, but I looked up my seed for this world online before I started, because I had a seed in my initial world where I needed to travel like real, I think it was 10 minutes or 15 minutes to get from the desert to my spawn village. That's why I planted my village here close to it, so I needed to change that. I really regret not doing this beforehand, because I really spent a lot of time on another server, on another seed server than this one. But at the end, I realized that I had to start over in order to get a better server. And then there's like one tip that's maybe related or closely related to this. I'll see if I can show it to you. Like, don't just start off where you spawn in your world. I cannot see it entirely. Like this world, I think, see if I can see it. It was on the other side of. I think the spawn in was somewhere around over. I cannot. Over there, somewhere I spawned in this world, and I looked and I like walked for a long time to find like a point just near the desert, and I also wanted the shore biome and the snow biome to be very, very close. So I thought that this was a perfect place to place my first village, and I hadn't really placed anything before. I just walked until I found the perfect spot. Number 6 is farming with a sword. Now, it's still good for bushes, but before the update that was happened today, okay, it's still good for this one as well. I don't know if it's good for all the trees, but it was still good for this tree. Most trees before the update was good or best to farm with bushes. It seems to me that they haven't really fixed the stamina bug yet, so I'll just be rejoining the game. But the tip number 6 here is to farm with a sword instead, and you can get a sword. You cannot do it with a not sword. You need. I'm going to show you the swords you can do it with. The first sword you can do it with is this long sword, the blue one with copper bars, and then the long sword with iron bars. These has become cheaper. Before it was 12, I'm quite sure. Now they are cheaper. Okay, but then now the first sword you can use to chop down wood with is the copper bar sword. Sorry, but the copper bar sword cannot be used to chop down cacti in the desert biome. They can only be used to chop down normal wood. I'll just rejoin the game to get the stamina bug break. Now, as an extension of tip number 6 is that you never really need an axe when you get to the point of having these swords. You only need this forest axe in order to chop down frostwood. But actually, you don't really need this at all. You can just go out and pick a fight with a brute. in the snow biome, and they will chop down a lot of frostwood for you, frost pine for you. You're not going to need all that much frost pine in the future, so frost pine can be sourced just by fighting with some brutes instead of like using your swords and so on. And this is leading me like directly and easy to tip number 7 in my book, and it is that if you want to save on your durability, instead of using your swords, your pickaxe, and etc. to chop down things, then pick a fight with brutes or these rollers, they are called, and they will farm and destroy things for you. Sometimes you can be lucky in the desert to find the new, or they are not new, but find the rollers that was usually in the caves beforehand. So they have been wandering out of the caves. It is black rollers, and if you see one of those, then go close to it and then just like punch it one time or something and make it follow you all the way to a plant of cactus or something, and then let it explode in all of these cactuses, because these rollers will farm so much for you. I'll see if I can find some out here so you can see which one I'm talking about. There's another roller there, a yellow roller. They can just destroy one thing at a time. I can't really find any of the other rollers right now, but it's the black rollers that's just, they are hiding just at underground or in the ground as a black small, looks like a rock. Actually, if you cannot tell the difference yet, it's okay, but they are like a small black rock and smaller than this one. So I cannot find out right now. Go over and punch it one time and just make it follow you. And let's say you made it follow you all the way to a bunch of trees like these, and it exploded. Then you will have, there's one right here. Oh, that's so cool. You can see it here. See, if you can make it explode here, and then you will get all, look at it, all this material here. So I get, see how much I got from this. I got almost 40 wood, 1 blast core, and 7 vines from this, and this is so much better than, oh, and did this, okay, the sword has been nerfed for cactuses, but it's still good. But the rollers, the explosive rollers, are so good for just destroying cactuses, because they will one-shot a lot of cactuses, and you will get all the flexwood you need in the future. And as you just saw here, while I'm in the desert, I designed this the way that is. Trees are in abundance in the desert. Look at all of these trees right here. These are normal wood trees. These cactuses are flexwood, but these are normal wood trees. The cool thing about trees in the desert is that they will grow back in just one in-game day, or at least that's my experience. There was a brute over here actually, and I have been using this brute a lot to farm this patch of trees, because that will give you a couple of hundred of trees. So besides the trees being abundant in the snow, in the desert biome, the rocks, the ordinary rocks, the granite, is, in my opinion, in abundance in the snow biome. So whereas the grasslands is more balanced, I think there is much more wood to be found in the desert, and there is much more granite to be found in the snow biome. Number 9 on my list is that it doesn't rain, or it doesn't get like bad weather and all of this in the desert biome. This is the same reason that in my other seed village I had my main town, my main village in the desert biome, because It never rained, it never like a lightning storm or anything, and just one of these cool-headed charms will make you go around in this desert easy enough. And just as I showed you in tip number 1, getting the green cool-headed charms, or getting 2 of them, I think you need, is quite easy already in the beginning, which is why I think that you shouldn't even, like, you should really consider building your main base in the desert. I chose not to for mostly aesthetic reasons. I think the grasslands look better, but the desert is a place you're going to be spending a lot of time. And when I say it's not raining, it's so cool that you can just have, if you want to, you can have all your machines outside, or maybe make a courtyard or something where you have all your machines being outside, because they can always be used. As I just mentioned, it doesn't rain in the desert. That's super cool. And just a quick tip, as you might already know, that's just talking about the deserts and the snow and the grasslands biome. Tip number 10 on my list is that biomes, getting villages like this one, this is the village tower here, getting this to village 10, rating 10 in all of the biomes is vital in the game in order for you to get everything you need. Okay, they really nerfed this was one shot before, but it really nerfed the cutting trees with the sword. Maybe I'm actually going to need an axe again. Let's see in the future. But you need to get a village in level 10 in each of the biomes in order to unlock it. Now you can see this roof and all of the Japanese style things, they will be unlocked in the snow biome. And then these castles type, they're also in here. The log cabins and the pleasant park will be unlocked in the grasslands. The majestic manor part will be unlocked in the desert, and the shogun palace types will be unlocked. And the building also in here will be unlocked inside the snow and the desert. And I am guessing that in the future, because there is a biome right now, it's called the shore biome, and I could just fly up here so you can see what biome I'm talking. Up here, up here, up here. Now at the shore, at the beach, there is a biome called the shore biome. Now you can see it's bad weather out here. I'm going to stay in this in the desert because it's oh I almost died by this. Yeah, so beware of your stamina too. I don't have this as a tip, but yeah, that was a rookie mistake. But I just went back to the desert in order to get some more daylight. Out of the shore, there's a biome too. Right now, the shore doesn't give you anything new, but I'm guessing in the future there will be more biomes and more things to unlock. So getting a village to level 10, or maybe even higher in the future, that's a thing you must look out for. But that's also a basic tip. That was tip number 10. And then I have something that's like maybe an opinion. That's not a tip, that's just between the next tip here, is that I don't think that Lego Sandbox or Lego Fortnite Sandbox mode is real Lego Fortnite. No. If you're building something and you're seeing somebody on YouTube flying around, they have not been going through the struggles of collecting all the materials. They have all the unlocks from the beginning, and they didn't have to do anything to get all the materials that you are working so hard to be getting in the ordinary Lego Fortnite. And I have built a mega big hotel at the beach, requiring a couple of thousands of granites and a couple of thousands of wood. And I know what whoa, there's elastic rubber here. And I know what the struggle is of getting all of these materials, and you do too. Sandbox is not really Lego Fortnite. It's cool to use it as a sandbox mode, which is meant to be like test out some builds and practice in there, but it is not the real Lego Fortnite, in my opinion. We are at number 11, and it's also an opinion. It is that chests and the butterfly in Lego Fortnite are useless. You won't get anything great from chests unless you are lucky that you see a chest covered in a lot of other things, because a lot of time the chests now I have looked in all chests in the near vicinity, but chests usually hold like the most basic of basic stuff. I will never hunt for chests because they are so useless. And the same thing with those butterflies that appears from time to time. They are maybe good in the start of the game, but you don't have to go that long into the game, and then they become completely useless as well. And I put this in the list because every time you are searching for and you're seeing the tips on how to get better or how to know more about LEGO Fortnite, they say follow these butterflies and look at the chests, and I'm just like, don't bother because these need to get buffed like really crazy and give you something that you cannot get otherwise they are still just so sucky. We are at number 12 at the moment. You can only have 15 villages in total in all of your village, so that's three of these max level villages. You can have 5 in each. So that's only 3 max level villages you can have 5 villages in. So an idea is, if you want to have all of the materials somewhat in the same place, then I have a base here, I have a base here, and I have this base here. And I'm calling this the triple base way. I could have been closer here, but put your bases so close together that you can... I'm building jump towers from each base to base so that I can get the materials the villagers are cooking up over here, and I can jump around and get all of these materials so that you can like have some place for food maybe and some place for other materials and so on. There is an idea that if you're building an outpost, let's say you have an outpost at the snow biome or somewhere else, then maybe put in 1 villager, and then the one thing you should have this villager working on is cooking food for you. But not at the grill. If you are so far along in the game, use the oven instead. So and I have let's go on to tip number 13. Just go up here so I can see some more. Oh, ow! When you have villagers, that was I was saying. Tip number 13 is when you have villagers cooking food and you have this oven, then destroy your grill so that they won't give you like all of this beginner foods like corn and eggs and so on. I can just show you how you can also see in my inventory I have fruit pies and I have pumpkin pies, and these are only something that my villagers are cooking up for me because I only have ovens. I'll go up to show you first time. I'll show you my village. What don't have any grill in here anymore. Here I have 2 ovens right here that they are working on, and just to show you what the villagers I had at some point, because the smelting copper, the smelting iron, and all of the other jobs didn't really work as well in the beginning, so I had them only been cooking food. And as you can see here, I have 3 boxes, almost 3 boxes of pizza. And I have all of this pumpkin pie and all of this food pie, meat pie, and all of this fruit pie only. And I have burgers. You need to make burgers yourself. But I have cheese. You need to collect them. But all of the other stuff is just something that my villagers cooked up for me. Just going in with my... As you see here, I had another inner fire charm. Going in with this one that I just collected. So make them only cook like the OP foods, the great foods, because you, unless they have updated it, you can have them make pizza, and pizza is quite hard to make yourself because you need to get cheese, and cheese is not something that you can farm right now in the game, at least if they haven't updated it at this point. Tip number 14 is to collect at least one of each resource type or each collectible type. Let's say like the frost shell, curse bones, and everything that you need in the game. Collect at least one of each, because then you will unlock all of the recipes. Many recipes will only unlock the day that, or the time that you have, let's say you wanted this sculpture. It will only unlock when you have the copper bar, and this will only unlock when you have the iron, and so on. In the toys section, this will only unlock when you have all the things. And a great idea here is to also keep all of these things. So when every time there is an update, I'm so sorry that I'm coughing all the time, but I'm speaking more than I'm usually doing. Every time you have there's an update, then you can just go over here and just put them in your inventory and put them back. Maybe put this and put it back. Or right now I can actually do it, because I think if I put this in my inventory, yeah, just see here up in the corner, I just unlocked the hunting dagger, because I had this saved. Maybe I can. I don't have the cut ruby, but if I had this in the cut version as well, maybe I can actually do this from my village. But as you can see, there has been an update with new stuff that you can craft. And I also unlocked the dagger now. And just by saving all of these things and getting in one time in your inventory and back, then you are unlocking those. So now I can actually build these hunting daggers right here, because I just needed to unlock them. And I haven't unlocked the blue one yet, because I don't have any cut ruby, but I could just go up and cut the ruby to get one of these. So that's a great tip that I've never heard anybody else talk about. If you also thought that it was a great tip, then please consider subscribing, or at least liking, or maybe even writing a comment below. Let's go on to your tip number 15. The villagers really want to talk to me. This is the crafting bench, the full upgrade, but at the beginning it looks like this, and I didn't know for a long time that there was this tab in here so you can upgrade it. I just wanted to tell you that this is a thing, and this is still bugged. I don't know how this can even tilt like this. Yeah, let's destroy it and build a new one. But just look for it in other stuff as well. I'm thinking that maybe some of the other machines at some point will be able to upgrade, and the same thing with the village. Maybe it will be able to get even further on in the future. Number 16 is that, in my opinion, and this is an opinion as well, and I really fight me on this one, all the villages can do the same thing. All this thing with rare villagers and something that's they can do, they are better at different jobs and so on. There's no documentation that that's true. There's no idea behind that being the truth. Like, if I have a raptor cooking, he's just a good a cook as burger head, or what is called, and tomato head as well. In my opinion, there is no difference. Of course, you can call them legendary and rare villagers because somebody is harder to find, but villagers will show up to your village depending on which biome you are building in. That's why some of the villages that feels like kind of rare is because they are from the snow biome or they are from the shore biome. But in my opinion, all villages are the same, and you can, of course, if you don't think that that's the truth, please write in the comments and maybe show me some documentation that is not the truth, because I'm quite 100% sure that it is. Number 17 is that leaks on YouTube is not news. They are fake, and many of the time it starts with somebody sharing something and all of the other YouTubers just regurgitating all of the same content. If all the leaks were true, we will be having another biome right now and a lot other monsters and a lot of other things, Lego Ninjago and so on. Whereas I believe believe that many of these leaks are actually something rooted in the truth or something that's found in the game files. As with the normal Fortnite, you will never know if these things will ever come to fruition or these will ever come to be the truth, or if it's something that Epic is just working on and testing behind the scenes. If you are looking to leaks on YouTube and hoping that all of this will become truth, and you are getting sad that it wasn't truth because you saw it, your favorite leaker told you so, this will only get you sad and be a bad experience. So in my opinion, do not follow all of these leaks. Please follow all of these YouTubers, of course. Please follow everything about LEGO Fortnite and support all of the other YouTubers as well. But tell them that maybe leaks is not something for you, because leaks are not real news. Number 18, to remove tree. That's a good one. I have this one over here. To remove trees from growing back, you need to this. I hate that this is nighttime right now. See, this tree up here is all the time growing back. I don't want to remove it actually, but I'm just going to show you. Okay, I really think the axe thing is back, but I heard that there was a this small sapling here. You need to dig this up with a shovel. In order, this small thing here, if I dig this up with a shovel, then this tree will never grow back. But I kind of like this tree here in my base. And something I haven't really included as a tip is that some basic information is you can drop things on the fire and it will set fire and and disappear. Tip number 19 is something that I like to consider, something that I found out. My way of like building stuff is that if you're freestyling, building something freehand, then of course use the snap mode, but do one side of the building process. This was freehand built, and I have this was freehand built. And if you are using, especially if you're using the gable roofs, these down here, if you're using these at the end, then put one side first and then build a roof, and then afterwards fill in and build all of the other walls after you've done like this. So one wall and then all the roof, and then afterwards build the rest of the wall. It's 10 million times easier to get to fit the walls to the roof afterwards than it is to fit the roof on the walls afterwards. Sometimes it can actually be completely impossible to get the roof to fit afterwards. So that's my tip. Firstly, one wall, and then maybe even just one pole, and then just build the entire roof, and then build from the upside from up and down. And that's also another like tip that's built in this. If you build from up and down, then you know that the walls, you can just like snap them to the roof, and then we'll dive into the ground right here. And you cannot do that the other way around. So if you have pillars like this one, I've built one first, and then I built the entire roof, and then afterwards I built this, and then you can see this pillar just goes into the ground. If I started the pillar right here, it would end here, and it just doesn't work that way. So build from the from up and down. Now, tip number 20: get snowberry and spicy pepper early on in the game, so you can make these snowberry bushes and pepper bushes in your game. The way you're doing this is that you go out and just run to the snow biome, and in the snow biome there will be snowberry bushes. Just collect a handful of them, maybe 5 or 10, and get them back to your base. And you could do the same thing with your in the desert. There are spicy. There's actually one right it right here. There are spicy plants all over the place. So get some chilies and get some of these snowberries. And then you go and get them back to your base. And inside of this, you grain these snowberries to seeds. And then you can make plants for snowberries and for chilies in your base. You can just grow them in yourself. You're going to need, I had a juicer right here. This is this machine. You're going to need the snowberries mixed with the milk to get these snowberry shakes. And you're going to need the chilies with some flour. This thing. What I don't know exactly what that's called. Flour. Yeah, you know, the cooking, baking stuff. You're going to need chilies and the meat and flour to get chili burgers. Now, the reason why snowberry shakes and chili burgers are great, and the reason why they are better than just eating the spicy pepper and eating the snowberry directly, is that spicy pepper will reduce your or give your cold resistance that you can see here for 2 minutes, whereas a burger will do it for 10 minutes. And a snowberry, just a berry, will give you warmth and snow resistance for 2 seconds, whereas this will do it for 10 minutes, and it will also heal your 12 and cover 5 of your hunger. Snowberry shakes are one of the better shakes. See, I want to test slap juices actually, because I want to see if they... No, they don't work. Okay, they just fill up the slab right here, but I wanted them to work just in like in Battle Royale, where they could give you maybe infinite run in for 10 seconds or 20 seconds. They don't do that yet. So the best food for exploring the snow is a chili burger, and the best drinks to get into the cave is this snowberry shake, because when you're getting into caves in the desert, it's even hotter than it is in the desert, and if you're getting into the caves in the snow biome, it's even colder than it is in the snow. And even with 2 inner fire charms, you will freeze in the caves. Maybe not if you also bring a torch, which will keep you warm. But you already know this. Tip number 21 is that brutes, especially in the normal realm, or what you call it, normal world, it's not as dangerous. It's actually nowhere near as dangerous as they look. They look so big and dangerous, but in my opinion, they are not as dangerous as you might think, especially as a beginner. And the thing you need to know is just bring a crossbow and a lot of arrows, and then every time you fight it, you can do this roll here, and you can just shoot it with your crossbow. I'm just going to finish this. I never really finished my plots here, so there's a quick tip that's not really on my list, but if you build like straight rows like this, then the animals can actually help you when vines drop here, and sometimes they will come in to your garden plot and even eat some of the leftover vines and drop their droppings in here. And I like this as a good design, because these right here, doing it in rows, that's so much easier to like collect all of the things. Doing it in here is actually quite of a hassle, and this is more for aesthetic reasons, where this is more effective. And you could of course build it like flat on a flat ground, and just build it long rows instead. That's also like not really on my list. So I said like brutes are nowhere near as dangerous. Just roll around, and that's also like crossbows will save you so much, because when you get to the snow biome, there is something called bone wolf or skeleton wolf in the caves, and they, in my opinion, the most dangerous animal you will come across right now. Of course, I'm hoping that when you see this, maybe in the future there will be some more dangerous animals, but using a crossbow and just rolling and rolling like this will really save you now and in the future. Number 22 is a fun fact. Villagers cannot jump, so you have to build like these ladders. I think that it can go up one of these, because you can go up, but if there's somewhere you need to reach, and if you need to jump up to get there, these cannot do it. I don't think they can, at least maybe they fixed it, but if I have this platform here, a villager won't be able to go up here. At least they wasn't able to do this in the beginning. So yeah, please just know that they cannot jump, and if you have them stuck somewhere, or if you don't, they don't know how to work the machines, then build some of these one piece wood, what do you call it, floors here, to make your own kind of like broad stair to go in here. And also I don't have doors, because in the beginning of the game there's still an invisible wall here. There's still a bug, but in the beginning they couldn't open doors, but as you can see over here in my guest house, they can open doors now. And number 23 is something that I really learned the hard way. See, I have another video where I built the biggest hotel in entire LEGO Fortnite history. It's down in the sand, and I made a video about it, and I want to say, do not build in the flat, wet sand, or even like something that looks moist. It's very flat on the beach near the water, because waves are coming in and it will destroy the entire build. Not that so that it will fall down or anything, but it will just pieces will move like one tiny millimeter, a tiny inch here, which when you snap it together afterwards makes it so impossible to finish your builds, because all of the pieces will not fit together. I have a video about this on my channel. And I want to say one thing more. I don't have any more tips, but I want to say one more important thing for all of you, is that LEGO Fortnite, the survival game, is not meant to be completed in my mind. That somebody say that they completed the game, they have done everything you need to do, but in my mind, LEGO Fortnite is something that it's meant to be played for, I would not say in eternity, but they've like... You need to like find another way to play it, because there's no end game, there's no end boss or anything. So thinking that you can complete LEGO Fortnite is wrong in my opinion, and it's just not the way to play it, at least in my mind. Ooh, that was a long list, but and I really burnt my voice by talking here, but I really enjoyed making this, because I really think that it was a resource that and a lot of tips that a lot of other YouTubers haven't covered yet. If you think you get any, like, just a hint of value from this, or if you're just at least interested in LEGO Fortnite, then consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully I'll see you in this future. Bye bye.